To this one kick of the ball by Didier Drogba. Yeah, it's the greatest night in Chelsea history. Champions of Europe at last.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Blue Stand YouTube channel. Once again, thank you so much, all of you guys, for watching our last episode with Nini. It's done really, really well. A lot of people got a lot out of it. Today we're back, no special guest. However, we've got myself, Ameya, and Kunal. The three amigos are back, and we're just going to have a conversation about a whole heap of different topics. So let's get it started. First of all, the topic I want to talk about is that in the last, I suppose, few days, we've seen certain, parts of the fan base, especially in social media. I don't know how it is in, out there in real life, but in social media, there is a certain part of fans that are sort of giving an ultimatum to Frank Lampard at the moment because of all the players that he's getting. He's getting all his signings. We've seen over the last few days that Kai Havertz, Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva are all done and dusted. They're going to happen. And obviously, we've already got Werner, we've got Ziyech, we even got the youngster, Xavier Mbuemba. And perhaps we're still, we're probably going to get a goalkeeper as well. So these fans I find it strange that they didn't expect anything from Frank Lampard and Chelsea last season. And Frank Lampard did well. Exceeded expectation in his first season with so much adversity. And they were screaming at the board that Frank Lampard should get his people. And now Frank Lampard is getting his people. And now they want to give an ultimatum to Frank Lampard that if you don't achieve, X and Y next season, then you're out. Like, I feel some of these fans, like, they're a little bit shameless in the sense that, of course, Frank knows what the target is. He's not stupid. He knows with all these players that he's getting that the expectations will be high. But he knows that. He said that himself, that top four is not an achievement. We've said it plenty of times in this particular channel that, the gap between the top two has to be reduced and we need to challenge more. Hopefully we get a silverware. So, that's my thoughts. I want to quickly go to now Ameya and get his thoughts around this particular issue. And then we'll move on to Kunal as well and get his thoughts on it. But first of all, Ameya, I mean, do you feel annoyed when you see certain comments in social media?
Yeah, definitely. I do feel a little bit annoyed, but I just feel that they're worded a little aggressively. I mean, everyone knows that Frank Lampard has got higher expectations next season, right? I mean, he definitely has to deliver, especially after this monster of a transfer window. Really, there's no other words to be utilized. But however, I think even the board knows that this is a long-term plan, right? I mean, we've spoken about a 3-year plan before as well, along with Vivek when we had him. So I think even the board knows that this is going to take time. And once, the transition is entirely complete, right? Once we have the new players and they're integrated into the squad. And then we're going to be competing on all fronts, right? We're going to probably start competing for the treble and whatnot. So I think the board knows better and that I think they will definitely give Lampard time. But that being said, I think he does have some pressure on his shoulders this season, definitely more than what he had last season, because last season he was the underdog, right? And we went into certain games not expecting a result at all. And when we didn't get it, it was fine. But when we did get it, we were overjoyed. And then we started saying that he's exceeded expectations. But next season, it's not going to be like that. Next season, we're going to go into every game thinking we're going to have to win this, bar probably City and Liverpool away. Apart from those two games, I'm looking at the fixture list and I'm thinking, we got to win this game. We got to win this game. And I mean, obviously, it's not possible to win all the games, right? But we have to win most of them. And which is why I think certain fans, as I said earlier, I think they're just wording it wrong. I think what they probably want to say is that he will have more pressure on his shoulders to deliver next season. And a season like the last one isn't sufficient, to show any signs of promise, right? Basically. So I think that's what they mean to say. But I'm not including the fans that want Lampard out in this conversation, of course. But that's what I think.
Kunal.
True. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to recover from the fact that just a few moments ago, I was in the market and I saw a lady looking exactly like Igalo, the Manchester United striker. But I mean, the mood in both the camps could not have been, I think, any more contrast, United fans. But now, the real topic at hand. Now, I definitely do not agree with what has been going around in the Chelsea community with those types of fans that you mentioned. However, the expectation levels have just been raised for obvious reasons. I mean, this time the season, it's no longer the same thing where the honeymoon period was, it's all well and truly over. The roller coaster ride that I mentioned in the last season, I don't think fans are going to be popping champagnes now that this season, if we manage to just scrape to the top 4 and are dumped out of the Champions League in the early stages. People know with the caliber of players that we have just received. I mean, Roman Abramovich has held his end of the bargain. Now it's up to Lampard to deliver as well, and we will know for sure what his level is as a manager. He will obviously be cherished by the Chelsea fans, the true Chelsea fans. He'll always remain fondly in our hearts, whether it works out or not. But while the Ameya has said it perfectly well that the wording was not up to the mark, but the message was clear. The message was clear, and the message was that it's no longer would be viable for Lampard to just scrape to the top 4 and remain in that period of inconsistency with the caliber of players that we have. I mean, it will no longer be considered a good fight when he just about lost 2-1 to Liverpool in the last season and 2-1 to Manchester City as well. I think no longer people will be praising shouts anymore with those sort of performances. I think they'll go out of it feeling a little bit, disappointed that we could have had the game. So in that regard, I think Lampard, he's a smart man. And the very reason why we got him the last season as a manager is because there's barely someone better than him who knows what Chelsea is all about. So he's not a fool. You don't need to remind him what the expectations come from the manager when you are managing a team like Chelsea. I mean, the history has shown that what the expectation levels are from what the board point and the Chelsea fans. And there's no better person than Lampard. You don't need to remind him what the expectations are. So the fans were calling for his head already. What is the expectation? Do they think there's a title challenge next season on? I don't think that, because if you remember, the point tally was about 30 or so. The difference was 30 or so points between the winners, Liverpool and us. So we got players, but you also need a couple of seasons as well for them to gel together. And by that time, hopefully a few of Liverpool players will also be falling out of their prime years. So in a couple of years of time, I think the realistic expectations should be to witness a clear growth in the team and to see them go a step above. I think that's the realistic expectation. And if we see that and then still we finish third, I think that should also be considered a success, given that we go a next step in the Champions League as well, and maybe fetch ourselves a domestic trophy as well. That should be the expectation. And people who, after witnessing all these signings, think that all of a sudden we are challenging for the title, and if Lampard doesn't deliver that, or if he is not seriously in the title mix, and then he needs to go, I think they are not being realistic, to be honest. And it's not fair to Lampard, I suppose. He knows what it is. Lampard. That's my main thing. Yeah.
Well said, both of you guys. Actually, you guys put some really good perspective around the whole thing, that maybe the wording is incorrect. But obviously the intensity has increased. But I also like what you said, Kunal, in the sense that let's not expect a title challenge here. I mean, let's see the progress. Let's bridge the gap, and we take it from there. All right, let's move on to the next topic, Ameya.
Yeah, we briefly did touch upon the transfer market, and what a transfer market we've had. We could have 5 signings wrapped up before most of our top 4 rivals get even one, right? I mean, I don't think Manchester United are close to signing anyone at the moment, especially since the Sancho deal.
Ferran Torres. Manchester City. Manchester United,
Yeah, but I don't think United are close to signing anyone. So I think that they were like our closest rival, right, to the top 4. And if you include Leicester as well from last season, I don't think both of them have made any signings yet. And we've already completed 5. So that's been a massive window for us. But I think that while it was always going to be over 2 or 3 transfer windows, right? Our business, like basically the squad which we aim to build, has been spread over a couple of transfer windows, because I personally don't think we can get Rice this window, especially after we've spent so much, and also we've gone and brought in Thiago Silva to fill in for the
And
centre back
Ampadu
role.
seems to be as well.
Exactly, and Ampadu seems to be not going out on loan and staying with us for the next season as well. So I think that keeping that in mind, I think that Rice is probably not going to be signed in this window. So a couple of such players will probably be signed in the next 2 or 3 windows, right? In the January window, probably the next summer as well. But that being said, I think we do need to address one key issue, and that is the goalkeeping position, because Kepa and Caballero, both of them, I think even with the team we have at the moment, right, I'm still not confident with Kepa or Caballero at the back. So I think that the goalkeeping position is certainly one which we should be 100% concentrating on. We did see some reports about Edouard Mendy from Rennes, and I think even Mike Magnon of Lyon, I think, if I'm not wrong. So I think we are probably looking for a bargain buy. If it were Onana, I think Onana could be possible as well, but we're yet to see if he does decide to leave Ajax this season. So there are quite a lot of goalkeepers, but I think we will be looking for a cheap option. And, well, this is out of the blue, but I think yesterday Nini posted a video where he discussed us being linked to Thiago from Bayern Munich. And I am absolutely buzzing ever since I've heard that rumor. I mean, 30 million euros, that's about 27 million pounds. That's a bargain for someone of his caliber, absolute bargain. And I think even
Is this legit? This is legit?
I mean,
I don't know. I don't exactly. It's very early to say at the moment, but even Carefree Youth, I think there was a tweet by Christian Falk about Thiago, accepting everything with Liverpool. It's just that Liverpool have to pay the 30 million that Bayern Munich are asking. And I think Carefree Youth tweeted something like, that's the same thing you said for Werner or something like that. And it just got me buzzing, man. But I don't know. I still think...
Sorry to interrupt you, Ameya. Sorry to interrupt you. But don't you think that Thiago, I mean, I'd be buzzing as well if we were to sign him, but he and Kovacic has very similar profile of players. Kovacic was already at the end of the season was struggling to get minutes and into the side. And with the addition of Havertz, who will be occupying the number 8 position, do you think that's 30 million that we can spend somewhere else that we actually need to strengthen on?
No, man. I think
that's my only...
With all respect to Kovacic, I just think Thiago is a class above. Thiago is the combination of Kovacic and Jorginho together. And first, and I think you mentioned earlier that you want, it might be time to move Kante on. So if we do manage to get Thiago somehow,
I did mention,
I think that Kante or Jorginho could get sold especially if we get that over the line. I think it's unlikely, but I think I have been told, especially I think Mark Stevens just tweeted, he's a really reliable guy, and I think he just tweeted that we could expect 2 more signings in this window, even after all the 3 deals this season are completed. So I think one will be the goalkeeper, and the other one, I don't know who it is, probably a backup centre-back if we do sell one of ours. But I personally don't think it's Thiago, but I would love it. So what do you think, Kunal? You seemed pretty enthusiastic to talk.
I was pretty enthusiastic when you brought up the Kepa situation, because I have always been enthusiastic about the fact that I'm not enthusiastic about him seeing in a Chelsea shirt. You see, I don't have anything against the guy. My mind is focused on seeing Chelsea in the near future challenge for the title. And with Kepa, the situation is that I have yet to see the track record, which, strikes me as a sign of promise that he's going to make a comeback. I mean, people are talking about Kepa making a comeback. How is he going to come back when he was never there in the first place? And that's my problem, man. I don't want to put, I don't hate the guy. I mean, for as long as he's donning the Chelsea shirt, I would always hope for the story to turn around, just like with even guys like Drinkwater, although I'm sure it won't happen. And I don't have much faith in Kepa as well, because we bought him. Now it's clear to everyone that we bought him as a panic buy, right? His exploits in Real Sociedad were not 72 million good. They were good. And that's a huge difference, because,
He was at Atletico Bilbao, man, not Sociedad.
Yeah, so you might have to cut it out, because I might end up looking like a fool, but yeah. the
we're keeping this.
Well, the point still stands, right? all of a sudden it doesn't change the fact that Kepa was never that sort of a player. I mean, his ball passing ability and all sort of that. When you buy a goalkeeper, the first and foremost thing should be the shot stopping. And that's about it. If a player is world class in that regard, I don't think any other trait make that much of a difference. I mean, of course, the modern game and all that. But what would you rather have? Like someone who's pinging balls like prime Tony Cruz, or someone who's saving shots like prime Neuer. I know where my priority would be. So I think we are still one or two class signings away from actually being in serious contention for the title. The reports that Lampard is not at all happy with Kepa's performances, that doesn't come as a surprise because that has been the case throughout the season. Like it wasn't the sample size of 10 or 12 games you would hope for things to turn around, because if in the whole season your save percentage is worse amongst all the goalkeepers who are starting for the other 19 teams, I think it says a lot about where the quality is, the level of quality that Kepa possesses. So I think that is definitely a place we need to further strengthen. Caballero, he's a good backup option, but like 39 years old, are you really, expecting him to spring like a cat at every shot that is thrown as well? Like, if the point is to go for cheaper, affordable option in goalkeeper department, then I think the smarter move should be to fetch someone of a more seasoned profile from the PL itself, like a guy I chipped in, Ben Foster, a few days back, and Fabianski. Like these guys would be decent buys, and I don't think you would have to break bank for them. So one lingering position that I think we still can do a lot with is the goalkeeping position. And I think obviously Azpilicueta is still evergreen, but like Reece James has still shown that there are certain signs where he looks a little bit out of touch and out of confidence and whatnot. I think good fullback option would also be helpful in pushing him to the next level. Azpilicueta, I think he'll still has a couple of good years to be the backup, but I mean, if only we had someone like a Tariq Lamptey. He looks like a promising guy who plays for Brighton. Did we have him? I don't know. So yeah, that should be another place like a fullback, because Marcos Alonso and Chilwell, that's about it, because Emerson is as good as gone. I think we can all agree that. So a flexible fullback sort of an option, I think, especially to provide the depth in lesser games or in Carabao Cup competition to provide rest to the starting guys. I think that's another position. And apart from that, I think it's pretty well stocked, unless and until we were to let go of a few guys. Jorginho, I don't think is leaving because one, he doesn't have suitors. Second, he won't command that much of fee. We are not going to, somehow get the fee back that we paid. So why not just use him as a bench strength? Barkley, I think, as long as West Ham are interested, we're going to send him only with the Rice option. And we're going to use him in that position. So if Rice is not coming this season, I think that means Barkley stays as well. Michy Batshuayi would be going, but we then have 3 or 4 striker options. So I think we are well stocked in just about every position and with quality as well, which is the more important thing. So yeah, the goalkeeping position is the one that is absolutely in front of me that needs immediate improvement. And other than that, a flexible fullback option, maybe someone who can fill in both the left back and right back, would be the one I think I should go for next.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think, I agree with you guys as well in this, that I want to play a bit of devil's advocate here for a second. I think with the likes of Chilwell and Thiago Silva coming in, that will improve our defense a lot. Left back position gets sorted. Obviously, we've struggled in the sense that Emerson and Alonso are not that great. Chilwell, hopefully under the guidance of Frank Lampard and Ashley Cole, will produce far better output in that position. And Thiago Silva is going to be an absolute defensive leader for us, and that experience is going to be massive. So I don't know, boys. I feel like, yes, we've all been saying that we want a replacement for Kepa, and I think we will get it in this window. But if we didn't get it, I don't know if it's going to be absolutely detrimental to us, because I feel with those 2 additions at the back, maybe we can see a little bit more resolute defending, and someone like Thiago Silva could possibly help guide Kepa as well. even though he's not a keeper, but he knows the whole defensive structure. He will help him to come outside of the box. You need to collect this. You need to collect that. When this situation happens, I depend on you to do that. Maybe he will be that voice that our defensive structure needs. And he may be able to get through to Kepa in the sense that this is your duty and this is our duty. So focus on doing that. So I just wanted to play a bit of devil's advocate in that. But I think we will get a keeper. Don't be surprised, boys, if we end up getting Rice in this transfer window, because I've been seeing a lot of cryptic messages from Alex Goldberg, which I'm sure everyone follows. And I've said it many times that I think Alex is probably even closer than any of these transfer gurus out there, in the sense of Fabrizio Romano, Christian Falk. Like, Alex knows a lot of internal stuff. He just can't say it out because of X, Y, and Z reasons. But he knows, because if you listen to some of his podcasts, he drops these hints way before the news becomes the news. So he's now recently started doing Declan Rice stuff, which makes me think, is this actually possible?
Well,
it may happen. If we are interested with Thiago Alcantara at 30 million, hey, why not dish another 20 or so and just go out there and get Declan Rice? But that's a different story. I think in order to wrap this particular question up, both of you boys are right. We do need some help in keeping, but I don't think it will be utterly bad if we don't address it in this window. I just want to see how it really works out with Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell. Maybe it could work out. Kunal, your question now.
Yeah, bro. I mean, just to conclude, I was also thinking the same thing. Like, a fixed back four, a continuous back four is also very crucial to a goalkeeper. If I'm a goalkeeper and I know these four guys are going to be in front of me for the maturity of the season, that also fills me up with confidence, because I know the strength and weaknesses of these players, and the same is vice versa for the defenders as well. So I think with Ben Chilwell and Thiago, I think if they remain fit, they'll be starting for us for the majority of the season naturally. So I think that would help out Kepa's cause as well, because the fees should mean that he still stays the season, and no one would be really surprised by that. So now my question to both of you guys would be like something a bit more vibey sort of a thing. Like, it's not something that you need to be a professional to discuss. That's my jam. I jam to that word. But like, you don't need to be a professional to sort of discuss this, and that's why I think makes it even more funnier or like interesting to discuss. And I just wanted to get your personal take about like so many signings that we have been making. Mouth-watering signings, top-notch, cream of the crop. You're running out of terms to describe them. So, which signing are you personally most excited about? Like, seeing which player do you see playing for the Chelsea shirt and making that sort of a difference, like taking it to the absolute next level? I mean, all of them are very good players. They have been doing bits at the very highest level for quite a while, most of them anyways. I mean, if I had to start with my own personal take, I would like to put in, obviously, my guy, Hakim Ziyech. I hope I didn't butcher it completely, just a little bit. But I'm so excited, man, because the upgrade, no disrespect to Willian, but going from Willian to Hakim Ziyech, I mean, I'm not Robbie, so I might be wrong, but like, I think there's a major
I was going to
step up.
say, Arsenal fans will disagree with you.
I mean, they would disagree on pretty much anything. Like, they were comparing Havertz to German Mason Mount or something. Like, I don't know. Maybe, they're an interesting bunch, man, but I wouldn't blame them having gone through that period of 15, 16 sort of years without a Premier League. Well, I think the comparisons are dead now. They have been for quite a while, 5 or 6 seasons, I think. Maybe even this decade. For the past decade, the comparison have well and truly vanished for me personally. I'm very excited to see Hakim Ziyech. I mean, obviously, I would be lying if I said that I was following the guy ever since he made his breakthrough at Ajax. No, I was the guy who was watching him while in that absolutely amazing Ajax run, that dream run in the Champions League. And in a team of so many ballers, Van de Beek, De Ligt, Hakim Ziyech was a standout player. I mean, against exceptional teams, Real Madrid and whatnot. Like he was the guy who was standing out. And you would watch him play, and you were like, my God, what is this guy doing in a smaller league? So Hakim Ziyech, we finally have a player who will take corners, and that won't result in a counter attack for the opposition. That's a major plus. So, and the
He
guy
could
can
even
dribble,
score from the corner.
scores goals.
Direct kick from the corner. He could even do that.
In 21 Eredivisie matches, he was involved in 18 goals. Like he assisted 12 and scored 6. When was the last time we had Willian replicating that sort of a season, coming anywhere close to that? So
I'm not gonna take this
was,
Willian bashing from you, Kunal. I'm not gonna. There's a lot of Arsenal fans who are gonna be watching this. I'm not gonna take this.
all the respect to the guy, but in all seriousness, like
Look, I think yeah.
Yeah, which guys would you put personally? Because Hakim Ziyech, I think the step up from what we had to what we now will be having, I think that's very monumental sort of a change, because now suddenly we have a player who has been making difference in the UCL. Our team didn't have many players who were making it happen to that sort of a level in the UCL, and we clearly saw that when we were playing against decent teams. I mean, Bayern, of course, more than a decent team, but like Valencia as well. We had players who weren't looking like they were not quite there to be playing in the UCL. So the caliber of guys that we have, suddenly Chelsea is a good team again to have in FIFA.
Exactly.
And Hakim Ziyech is a big part of that. So which guys do you say are you most excited about to see next season?
Ameya, you go first.
All right. I'm going to split this in two. Okay. I'm going to split this in two because the first thing that I'm going to say, the player which I personally look forward to is obviously Kai Havertz. I think without a shadow of doubt, he is so good, right? He is one of the best under 21 talents in world football, and no one can disagree with that, right?
Just glides, man. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think he's
glides.
incredible. And so I'm personally very excited to see Havertz, but would he adjust right away to the Premier League? I'm not so sure, right? I mean, over a period of time, definitely he's going right to the top. But I think this season we've got to be a little bit laid back on him. Not bash him if he doesn't get a goal or assist every game. Just stay a little bit laid back on him, allow him to get adjusted. Maybe probably start off with a couple of substitute appearances, right? Then go on to starting and then playing 60 minutes, that sort of thing. But then over a period of time, it definitely has to be Havertz for me. However, short term, right? I think the biggest impact which a player is going to have on the team is definitely Thiago Silva. Exactly. It has to be Thiago Silva.
Exactly.
Because
I agree.
He is literally everything that we've been lacking this season. Everything in the back. He has leadership, he has experience, he's physical, he's good in the air, he's good at playing the ball. And people, they get too hung up on his age, right? He's 35, he's 36. Oh God, he's going to be a grandfather soon. I don't care. I don't care. As long as he improves our backline, even if it's a stopgap signing, right? Until we get that Rice, or until Rice is ready to, become a first-team player, as long as as long as he improves us, I'm fine, and I think he improves us massively. I think he's not only going to have an impact personally, just as just him, but he's going to have an impact on our entire defense, on our entire backline. And I think we've also got a new defensive coach coming in, right? So I think that all that put together, I think our defense next season could be really, really good. So I think so short term for me is going to have to be Thiago Silva, but then long term definitely Kai Havertz. But apologies for breaking it into three, but Timo Werner, I mean, I've followed Timo Werner for years now. Literally years.
Break it into four, bro. Break it into four.
Yeah, the theatrics with
that's what
Kunal.
That's what
you're going to come to now.
Isn't it? With the window we've had, it's impossible to pick one. To pick one. So I think that's what. But personally, Timo Werner, I mean, huge fan of him. Even when it was like almost done that he's going to Liverpool, I still used to support him. And this is payback time for me. This is me watching him score 25 goals next season in a Chelsea shirt, and I can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah, man.
For me, boys, it's one name and one name only. None of these one. I'll break it down into two things or three things. None of these crap. For me, it's one name only, and it is Hakim Ziyech. Remember this name, guys. Hakim Ziyech is going to eat the Premier League. I'm gonna, a lot of the rivals are they tend to disrespect him a little bit. But the true fans that have watched him, like yourself, Kunal, and I'm sure Ameya as well, we've not watched him just this season or the last season. I've personally watched him for at least 3-4 seasons. And I've always loved his left foot, his ability to create something out of nothing, his ability to just pull out a goal when you least expect it. Like, you're watching the match, there's nothing going on, boom, he hits it, and it's a goal. And you're like, what just, it's like, it's 1-0? Like, are you serious? Like, that was so out of the ordinary. So, and that's what he does. He will catch the opposition out. So for me, Hakim Ziyech is going to be eating the Premier League. And I don't know if you boys remember his video, and this touches my heart. I actually broke down when I saw this video because I'm emotional like that. When he left Ajax and Ajax did a farewell, they took him to this particular cinema hall where they played his mum's video, and his mum was so proud, and he was saying, "We're proud of you, and go out in London and make us all happy." And he sat there and he cried. He just cried. He just sat there and cried, and then he replied, "I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it up. I'm gonna make you proud. I'm gonna destroy it. Like, I'm gonna do so well. I'm gonna work." And that you can sense that burning desire inside, that this guy, he's not just coming to the Premier League for the money or the fame or, to be part of one of the biggest clubs in world football. He's coming here to dominate. He's coming here to show the world that I have arrived. You need to start putting me in the top echelons of footballers that we have seen in generations and generations. So, for me, that's the main one, boys. I think, and this is no disrespect for all the other ones that we've got. Obviously, Thiago Silva, as you said, Ameya, completely agree. Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, 100%. Even Ben Chilwell to an extent. But Hakim Ziyech is going to be, he will change our team. He will change our team. So, guys, in that particular note, we will wrap it up, but we will quickly go to Ameya and Kunal just to get their final words. Ameya, any final messages to say to wrap this up?
Nothing, but I'm buzzing for this week, and I really hope that we announce all three by Sunday, and probably Malang Sarr as well. I don't know, that's just a name that popped up, and when I went to bed, there was nothing on him, and then I woke up and there reports that he's already agreed a 4-year deal. I don't know, but let's find out. And I'm buzzing for this week, and it's been a great episode to it's always a great time to talk to you guys, but it's been great. Today's episode has been especially good.
Kunal.
I mean, at this point, I think the Rebel fans would be happy that we have just 3 as a sponsor. It's not like a sport. We have a sports broadcasting company here, 10 sports, like 10. They usually call themselves 10.
Yeah.
So, just like Ameya, I cannot wait for the season to start. I cannot wait for Timo Werner to be put up against Liverpool just in a couple of matches. Like, it's the second match. I cannot wait for Ziyech to burn it to the ground against Arsenal. And maybe Don Robbie, whom I admire, sees the light.
When is it gonna end, Robbie?
Man, absolutely buzzing, man. The season couldn't have started any earlier for me because I'm just waiting here. It's all of a sudden 2 a.m. seems like a very far-fetched of a time. Like, I don't want to wake up anymore, but I just hope that it's going to be worth it next season, waking up at 2 a.m. As it has not particularly been for the past 2 seasons. But
bro, we are not sleeping next season. We are not sleeping.
And so aren't the rival fans. So many sleepless nights for everyone concerned with Chelsea, whether they are against us or with us. So on that note, fingers crossed and up the Chelsea.
Brilliant, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And a special mention, we should always remember, we've got Advaid at the back who does all our editing job. A special thank you to him as well, guys. He makes us look really good. We just do the talking, but he puts it all together. So thank you so much. On that note, guys, have a very good day and see ya.